This is the brand new Samsung Galaxy Watch 8. As you can tell, it is a massive redesign from the previous Galaxy Watches. I had some hands-on time with this watch, and here are 12 things you need to know about it. Number one, the squircle design is here to stay. It makes the lineup more consistent, but it's probably a very polarizing design. You can leave a comment and let me know what you think of it. On the positive side, this does give more room to make the watch thinner while maintaining the battery, so it's significantly thinner than the Watch Ultra and also thinner than previous Galaxy watches as well. It also does, if you think about one of my big complaints about the previous generations, not complaints, but a caution I would tell people who bought them, is you want to be careful about the edges. It was an aluminum body and the glass was just right on the edge there. So anytime you bumped against something, like I damaged 2 of my older Galaxy watches just on the edge, exactly like I just mentioned. So the squircle design does have some extra material around the display, which should help to protect the watch. It does, however, feel a little bit like some wasted real estate to me, at least, not having any kind of ticks or anything in that corner. Just, again, it feels a little odd. But Miles pointed out to me that it does look a lot not like the Apple Watch, but actually like a Samsung Gear Sport from I think like 2017. So an older Samsung watch had a really similar design. Some other things talking about the design though, we still have that digital bezel so you can swirl your finger around. There are no physical bezels or rotating crowns on this one. There's a different model, I'll talk about that later. And the 2 buttons on the right are pretty similar to what we had before. One of them is going to be used for the biosensor, so for ECG and stuff like that. We've got a microphone and a speaker, and the aluminum body does look really shiny this year, so it looks a little bit more premium, in my opinion, as far as the metal finish goes. But before we get into number 2, as far as pricing and availability goes, I usually have access to some special discount links directly from Samsung, so I'll include those in the description and in a pinned comment below. And those affiliate links not only help the channel, but they should also give you some exclusive perks. Usually it's an enhanced trade-in credit, sometimes a bonus credit that can help you get some, free watch bands or Galaxy Buds or something. Once I know the exact details on those deals, I'll add that in the description as well, but definitely check out those links if you're interested in buying the watch. So moving on to number 2, a new feature added to the Galaxy Watch this year is antioxidant levels. It's not something that I ever really anticipated seeing on a watch, and I am a little skeptical about this. But the way it works is you take the watch off, you turn it over, and you press your thumb on the back, and then wait, 20, 30 seconds, and it gives you a score. And that score you can track over time, and it's going to essentially indicate the antioxidant levels in your body. So higher numbers are going to be better, and allegedly many modern diets are deficient in fruits and vegetables. So this should tell you something other than just like heart rate, sleep, and those biometrics, and a lot more kind of diet-related stuff. So I think it's interesting. I'm glad they're, expanding and kind of experimenting in this space. This is technically not FDA approved at launch, but my understanding of how it works is using the LEDs and the biosensor on the back, and the reflection back is going to tell it, much like it does with all the other sensing on that biosensor using the LEDs, but it should tell you something about what is in your skin. I don't know all the details on how it was actually verified and validated, but apparently, according to Samsung, it is relatively accurate. I scored 57 out of 100, which is not great. I mean, I eat a lot of fruits, but I guess I could probably eat some more vegetables. When I get this in the studio, though, I definitely want to do some repeat testing on this to see how consistent it is if I measure a bunch of times in a row, and if I actually see a change by changing my diet. I was told that it could take up to 2 weeks to see any significant change in your score based on changing your diet. But number 3, perhaps the most significant change in this watch, aside from the obvious design change, is, now I know, AI is thrown around a ton, and I'm the first to say most of it is marketing garbage. For example, I never use the Now Brief on my Samsung phone. It just tells me like the weather and gives a random unrelated Spotify playlist. Like it doesn't feel like AI at all. But this is actually something that I think is significant. I've been saying for years that watches need voice AI features the most. Like they're a tiny display, they're annoying to navigate, and talking to it would just be such a big benefit. So we now have Gemini on the Galaxy Watches, and it's pretty well integrated. So you can have voice commands for all the usual Gemini stuff if you want to ask for, recipes and basic internet questions, but you can also ask it to do more things related to your watch. You could ask it to start a workout. And I know we could do that in the past with Bixby, but now you can actually go a step further. You could ask it some more advanced questions. For example, you could say, start a run that burns off 1 slice of pizza worth of calories, and it'll estimate, how many calories are in the average slice of pizza, and then create a workout or a run workout that is supposed to burn off that many calories for you. Additionally, you can inquire about your health stats. I don't know how deep it goes, but I mean, I was asking it about like my sleep last night, and it was able to return that. And it can also do some more complex things. So you can have some conjunctions in your commands. You could say start a workout that burns off 300 calories and start my playlist on YouTube Music. And it's able to string all of that together rather than you swiping around a little watch and then, setting up everything individually. It's able to do all of that for you. And I mean, like I've said before, if you run without your phone and you just connect your earbuds to the watch, then that's actually pretty convenient to be able to do all of that. Of course, like I said, there's normal Gemini stuff as well, and I would expect this could be useful for cooking or other situations where your phone just isn't really available. I don't think this is perfect yet. I'm really excited to try it and find out what the limits actually are of Gemini in this watch. For example, I can ask about my sleep, but can I ask for a run workout to improve my HRV given my current status and maybe injuries? I don't know. We're going to see what the limits are. Number 4, vascular load is added to this watch. It's kind of a trend in the industry. We've seen a lot of watches move away from like the old ring style where it's like standing hours and steps and stuff like that. Now it's more focused, much like Aura and Whoop kind of pushed the industry this way. It's a lot more focused on like cardio load, recovery, sleep, and kind of that little trifecta of managing your health. So vascular load is added on the watch now. I'm excited to try that out, and I think that could be a great feature. Number 5, this is a cool one. This is called Running Coach. So unlike Garmin, where you just choose a running coach plan and there's somebody that, tells you how much to run every day, this is a little bit more like automated. So you can do a 12-minute run at whatever you're able to do, your best pace, and it'll measure your steps, your stride length, probably your heart rate and things like that. But most importantly, it's going to measure your VO2 max. And from that, it's going to give you a running level. It's going to say you're a level 2 runner, you're a level 5 runner, you're whatever. And as you run then, it's going to give you workouts, it's going to give you plans in the future that should ideally build up your running level and help you train at a good, consistent pace, ideally without causing injuries. And that's something I'm excited to try this. In the past, I've always been really excited to run really fast. I make progress pretty quickly, but sometimes my cardio progress is faster than like my joint progress, and I end up injuring myself. So a plan like this could actually be pretty interesting, especially for beginners who really don't know anything about running. Maybe you want to lose weight. This could be an interesting way to get into that. Number 6, this is coming with One UI 8, completely preloaded, actually for the entire watch lineup. So there's 2.5 watches coming out right now. There's the Galaxy Watch 8, which as I'm talking about in this video, obviously, the Galaxy Watch 8 Classic, which I have another video out at the same time as this one, talking about the 8 Classic, and there's the Galaxy Watch Ultra for 2025, which is the same thing as the Galaxy Watch Ultra, just instead of 32 gigs of storage, it's 64, and it's coming with One UI 8, whereas the old one didn't. And it'll get the update, but not for a little while. They want you to buy the new one. Number 7, the peak brightness on the display is now up to 3,000 nits. From the past, it was 2,000 nits, so that's great if you're working out or you're outside in this bright sunlight. Number 8, this comes in 2 different sizes, 40 millimeters and 44 millimeters, as is typical of the baseline watch series. The displays are 1.34 inches and 1.47 inches, approximately the same as last year. And number 9, a cool feature related to sleep. Obviously, there's a lot of sleep tracking stuff they're always adding on here, but one is called bedtime suggestions, which a lot of wearables are starting to do this. The Ultra Human Ring, which I've been wearing for a while, does do this as well, and it can be useful since consistency is one of the easiest ways to improve your sleep. So telling you, all right, like you've been sleeping these hours the past couple of nights, you had a good workload, this is when we recommend you'd go to sleep to get the right amount of sleep to recover for tomorrow, because going to bed too late means you could miss out on a lot of important deep sleep. Even if you get 8 or 9 hours of sleep, missing the early hours could be really detrimental. Number 10, this is a big downside, in my opinion. Some people might like this, but I think it's a huge negative. There is a new strap design, like a new strap design, not even compatible with last year's Galaxy Watch Ultra new strap design. Like, this is not interchangeable with the Ultra. It's a totally different one. And it looks similar, it just doesn't fit. So any older straps that were the classic little pin design, whether you have 20 millimeters, 22 millimeters, they don't work on this. You can maybe get an adapter that'll adapt to them, but out of the box, doesn't work with this. Any straps you got for the Watch Ultra also don't work with this. So similar to the Ultra though, there's a little button on the back, you're gonna push it. I find it to be harder to push that to get the watch band off, unless you like really have a thumbnail that can dig in there. but it is easier to connect the watch strap. You just push it on, it snaps right in. So from that aspect, I do appreciate it. I think getting the adapter is, I mean, I don't know if third party is going to come out with it soon, but that's probably going to be a big one that I would want to get. Number 11, other things that we liked about the Watch 7 are going to remain on here, such as the L1, L5 dual band GPS, the ECG, the bioimpedance, like I said, digital bezel. Pretty much everything about the Galaxy Watch 7 is still going to be here. A lot of similarities. And item number 12 to know about this watch is it looks quite similar to the brand new Galaxy Watch 8 Classic, which I have an entirely separate video about that, which in my opinion is an incredible watch. I always love the Classic series from Samsung. Really nobody else does it like that. It's just a nice looking smartwatch that also has a very satisfying physical rotating bezel. So in summary with the Galaxy Watch 8, my first impressions here. I think the design will be polarizing, but the big picture for this watch is promising. It's kind of shifting in two major ways. One, it's becoming more of a health and fitness device, which is more accessible to more people. For example, running coach. And perhaps these are people who used to be Fitbit users using an old Charge 4, and it's getting time to replace that. And Samsung Galaxy Watch 8 is definitely a viable option for that. And number two, it's becoming a smart extension of your phone, or smarter extension of your phone. Not just notifications and tons of tiny widgets that you have to navigate around on a tiny screen. Honestly, in that situation, like, it's easier to just take out your phone. But with the deeper integration of Gemini here, I think that's actually a pretty big deal. So I'll have a full review coming soon, but these are my first impressions of the Galaxy Watch 8. Get subscribed if you guys want to see an in-depth analysis of the heart rate accuracy, GPS testing, the new antioxidant thing, the battery life, and more. It's going to be a big video, and I'm excited to make that one. So I'll see you guys in that video, and for now, you might as well check out my Galaxy Watch 8 Classic video. Link that right here.